Professional. Professional.
Say it the right way. Say it the right way. Say it one more time. Professional.
Professional is when I press the button in the middle of us trying to work out some technical.
Professional.
Professional.
That's right, Jamie.
We are professional. Brandon.
We are.
Brandon, I see you're giving us a different look this evening.
Why, yes, I am. Jamie Noguchi, I have managed, thanks to the wonders of technology and thanks to the fine people at the Macintosh Corporation, I have managed to come to you live via my cell phone as a webcam.
Oh,
I know. Coming to you live through a series of tubes, thanks to the one and only greatest self-proclaimed man on the planet, Al Gore. This is, once again, boys and girls, the fucking Do It cast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Brandon Chalmers, and with me is the co-host with the mo-host, the greatest man I possibly know, the one and only. Ladies love him, men want to be him. Bend at the knee for the one and only, the Angry Zen Master, Jamie, by God, Noguchi.
Damn it. The way you bring me on makes me sound way more important than I have ever felt.
Motherfucker, we're on the podcast network that we're on, right? Like,
yeah.
I am the way it should be, the lone white guy with a beard. So I need to pay homage. Like, I need to make sure that everyone understands that when they show up here and they're like, what the fuck? Who invited this guy? That I know exactly where I am in the pecking order of everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm the hype guy at best. Like, I'm here to move refrigerators and make you feel better about you. Nothing else in between.
moving furniture and hyping up people.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
We are part of the Hard Knock Media Podcasting Network. That is NOC, as in Nerds of Color. Wherever we post this, you'll see a link. Our top link is to a Nerds of Color page where Keith and other people in the network have shared places where you can donate and petitions that you can sign for the Black Lives Matter movement. We're still on that. My connection is all fucky for some reason. But yeah, we're going to be doing that until things change. If it's, November, if it's next year, if it's 2022, if it's 2023, if it's when Hazel goes away to college, if we're still linking to that shit, it's up until things actually change. So that's
Jamie,
that's where we stand.
I'm going to assume you hit all the most important things because you completely froze on my end, so I hope we're okay.
Oh shit. That sucks. Well, we'll find out. I'll find out when I go to edit this. I'll find out if I go to edit this. And if not, I will put an insert right here where I do a little voiceover that says all of the important stuff.
That's all right.
Yeah, I usually close down all my browsers when we record, but I forgot we got email. We got email Brandon Chalmers from a fan, and I need to read this email. So I'm desperately trying to find our email. Where is the problem? Here we go.
I just closed down all of my browsers, so just in case the problem is on my end.
No.
See, kids, what a podcast usually has when it hits the level of professionalism, that the fucking Do It cast is. You got to understand that there are things called technical difficulties, and usually when we're in a fine establishment producing television like Jamie and I are used to, sometimes you'd end up putting what's called a bumper graphic, and it would tell you to please stand by, technical difficulties. And
professional now.
Professional now.
At least we're not live streaming, man.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the next step, is to take what we do
Is
and
it?
put it out on the
Is it?
Twitch.
I don't want to find out how few people listen to us in general, nevertheless listen to us live. Like, that's the secret of the sauce here, Jamie, is I never actually find out what our listenership is, so I make sure to give every show our all.
Give it our
So
all.
for all 2 of you, I see you. I'm here for you.
I actually don't know either. I should take a look at the stats so we can sell ourselves to like brands and stuff, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So we got a message from Vincent, and it goes, "How are you doing? Glad to know you will see my email this time. Ha. I've been catching up a lot lately, watching episode 68 right now, and I feel the same as 2 years ago. This partnership is entertaining as fuck, even though I know about half of your subjects." Oh, that makes me feel good.
Thank you, Vincent.
Sounds like a good and funny guy. Your chemistry with Jamie, A++. Question: I know you two like video games, but do you like board games, card games also? Is it popular in your area? Do you guys play them often? If so, what are you geeking about them lately? Thank you for the entertainment, Vince. I'll just leave it at Vince. I'm not gonna shout out your last name. I don't want to dox anybody. From Quebec City.
That's not okay.
P.S. The Fast and Furious being in the DCU killed me. One of our best episodes. So Brandon, card games, board games, what are you playing? What are you playing?
So usually I'm not the biggest card game, board game guy. But at the same time, I have been known to jump in to a game or two. Before I recently, and if you haven't had the opportunity, educate yourself on the fine people over at Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, that used to be one of my favorites. For the time being, one of my favorites right now, and I'm so worried about putting this out in the world because I'm convinced I'm going to find out something terrible, would be Joking Hazard by the crew over in Cyanide and Happiness. And the one that I'm really looking forward to go picking up is basically their game, Trial by Trolley. And the idea is essentially it's done very similarly to a lot of the card games that you have. You get 2 teams, and essentially what you do is you lay down a card on each side, and then the teams essentially have to say which one you want to save. So it's, a genie who grants you 3 wishes, or every nurse on the planet.
Oh.
And the trolley is going to kill one of the 2 of them, and you have to decide. And then the idea is, okay, then you move on to the next round, and then you add 2, and it's, a kitten or a guy named Jeff. But the other team has things called like modifier cards. So it's basically like a guy named Jeff, and then someone throws a modifier card from the opposite team, and it says, but Jeff has a racist tattoo. And you're like, who? So, and then the idea is you compound those 3 sets of people and then decide which one of the 3 dies.
Jesus Christ.
Right. So
my God.
I'm a huge fan of those games. 1, where you get to kind of have a bit of conversation with friends. 2, you get to really pick on friends in the most inappropriate way. Like, I am really excited. One of my friends is a nurse, and I cannot wait to play this because I really hope I get to lay down that card, and I have to argue with the team that she's on about how we should kill every nurse humanly possible.
Oh man, that sounds fun. That sounds horrible and fun. But it's perfect for this day and age when dark humor is the only humor we can squeeze out of the stone that is 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So for me, I like a good game where you can kind of debate things, what have you.
Those are always fun.
I like a game. Yeah, I like a game of a bit of moral ambiguity where it starts to make you question a lot of things, and you start to learn a lot about your friends, and everybody starts to feel really awkward about it. So you start to knock some of those walls down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, personally, those are the kind of games for me, party games like that. I am a huge fan of playing Monopoly, but I have also gotten into genuine arguments that almost ended relationships over Monopoly. So I know to step myself away because I play to win.
Well, they have kids Monopoly now, and the rules are much more simple. So we've played that with Hazel because we have 3 people. That Cards Against Humanity game, not Cards Against Humanity game, the Cyanide and Happiness game.
Yes.
They were showing that off at was it not last year at San Diego Comic-Con, but the year before that at San Diego Comic-Con, and they had a Red Ranger edition. With oh gosh, I forgot, Austin St. John, St. John, and he was signing at the table. Now, at our booth at San Diego Comic-Con, the Digital Pimp is like right across from Cyanide and Happiness. So we're hanging out one day, and fucking Red Ranger shows up. And of course, you know, people are like want him to do the thing, like it's Morphin time or his thing.
Of course.
And he only did it the once. He was like, "It's Morphin time," and my brother, from the top of his lungs, yells, "Yes!" and just shears. So after he gets done signing, Austin St. John comes over and says, "Hey, thank you for that. That was the appropriate response." And he invited my brother over to, like, he was demoing a game later that afternoon. He was like, "You should come by and check out this game that I'm demoing and stuff," and all that stuff. So our brief brush with Tokusatsu fame at San Diego Comic-Con through Cyanide and Happiness.
I was going to say, in all fairness, we've had, through Art Fight and me personally, have had quite a few brush-ins with Rangers, and every one of them, other than the Jason David Franco or whatever he is.
The green,
other than the Green Ranger eyeballing me in a hotel elevator, refusing to acknowledge while I guess Jesus wasn't tapping. I don't know, whatever. Have been really good. You know, got a chance to take a shuttle back from a Comic-Con to the airport with David Yost, the Blue Ranger.
Yes, I want to meet him.
We've had some run-ins. And this is the problem, is like, I don't remember anyone's name. So the first Black Ranger from the first season, both Art Fight co-host Rawson Over and I did a show in Jersey. We're riding in the elevator down. Ross in his blue jacket, me in my red jacket. Guy asks who we're from. We tell him we're with Super Art Fight, looks at us and goes, "So what do you guys do?" Without missing a beat, Ross and I both look at him and just go, "Color commentary." And he looks at the two of us in our color jackets and goes, "That's cute, I like that." And then decided to follow us in and watch us do the first match. And, like, it was a small con and was genuinely nice. And, so in turn, I'm at Awesome Con a couple years ago, waiting for somebody from Art Fight to come meet me. I've got all the stuff, and I'm hanging out in the lobby of the hotel, and I see a bunch of Power Rangers. They recognize me because I'm at a bunch of cons and stuff like that. And I look over and I go, "Oh, hey." And they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "Good." And they're like, "Oh, here for the con?" I was like, yeah. We'll see you guys later. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, cool." And it was like a quick kind of back and forth of like, this is someone I recognize who hasn't been a total creeper because I haven't run up and been like, "Please sign my thing."
Yeah.
So, of course, I think it was Ross again who was walking toward me. He goes, "Did a bunch of Power Rangers just wave at you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good like that. Let's go." And just like, this is for me. This isn't for you. You don't get this fame. This is for Papa Bear.
I really, God, I want to get back on the con circuit, but I want to specifically go to Power Morphicon because it is the Power Ranger convention where they will all convene. And I swear to you, Brandon Chalmers, I need to get an Artist Alley table there. I need to be involved in Tokusatsu somehow and get there.
Jamie, where is this con? Where is this con?
I don't know. It's not happening this year, obviously. But
well, thank you for that enlightening information.
I think they rotate areas where it's been. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out for it because
I was going to say, because if you don't get a chance to get a table at the very least, a lot of us owe you a beautiful birthday gift of like treating you to a weekend at Power Morphicon and just being like, "You know what, buddy, checkbook's open. I'm just, whatever your little heart desires, you just go fucking banana pants and just go run around having a great time, getting things signed and being a total nerd in the best kind of way."
The thing is, I don't know shit about the American version, so I'm gonna be like, "Oh, hey, you're a ranger. I don't care." I'm going to go for like the random suit actor from Japan that no one's ever talking to.
That's fine because you're gonna be among your people.
God, But yeah, I miss going out on the road. That's my favorite part, is like interacting with people on in the back end and just like
Yeah.
hanging out with them after hours, and not when everyone isn't on anymore and they're just chilling and they're just
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so to go back to Vincent's question for you,
Oh,
I
right.
did actually remember. Yeah. Not gonna let us go too far off tangent. So I answered the question of what board game I'm more into. What
Yes.
about you, Jamie? I know obviously these days, given your time with your daughter at home, a lot of kids games have been happening. You've been kind enough to include me in some of them
Oh yeah.
via FaceTime calls and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
what's the go-to for you? Like if Hazel, let's say, was older and you had the ability to play, what's the go-to for you?
So again, another convention experience. We did not anime. We did PAX East.
Yes.
And you and Michael Bracco had to leave early because
Yes.
you were smart, and the rest of us decided to hang out because it's a game con.
Well, no, in all fairness, you all flew in.
Right.
Bracco and I drove
Right.
from Baltimore to Boston,
Yeah.
literally did the show, slept, got up the next morning, and then drove back. So
Yeah.
I can say I was in Boston for maybe 14 hours, tops.
Yeah, and we stayed the whole weekend because the guys hadn't been to a PAX before. I'd been to PAX Prime because I would visit my brother every year for a while, and we would do the show there. So I'd been to one, but I'd never been to the East Coast one. We met up with a lot of the guys from Opinions May Vary, that whole crew.
Another fine podcast. You guys should totally check them out.
And there was a game we found called Dragoon. And basically, you get a little dragon token, and you are a dragon, and your goal is to like hoard gold and stomp towns and stuff. And I didn't get it at the time because it was like me, Audrey, and Hazel, and Hazel's not old enough to play it. But like once she gets a little bit older, and if board games go into our rotation more often, I think that's one I would pick up, because the tokens themselves are really cute. They were like not pewter, but they were all metal. I think they had the special edition on sale at the time.
Okay. Gotcha.
But they felt really good, and the game was a lot of fun. Just stomping around as dragons, fighting each other, taking over hordes, blowing up towns. And I was like, this speaks to me. This game's my essence right here. If it were giant robots, like, it would be better.
Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that really does feel like your jam.
And then there was another card game that Marty picked up, and I forgot what it was called, but the basic premise is you're given a certain number of cards, and in like 30 seconds, you have to give a wrestling promo based on the cards. And that game was super fun. So like we did the con, we picked up these things, and we got tired, so we just sat in the lobby of a hotel playing Dragoon and the wrestling game, like shit talking each other for like hours before it was time to eat dinner. It was the best PAX I'd ever been to, and we hardly saw any of the video games.
Yeah,
just playing games.
Yeah, you know my feeling about PAX, waste of time and money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I'm glad people have fun,
yeah.
And by all means, it's probably just not my thing. Rock on, do your thing, enjoy yourself. But boy, howdy, would I do a MagFest 6 times a year before you could even fly me for free to go do a PAX.
So I agree with you, except when Bungie has special events going on. Brandon Chalmers, the Destiny 2 launch. Holy shit. My brother's company knows how to throw a party.
You know, it's funny. They know how to throw a party, but they don't know how to manage a game after a while, which is weird. Maybe the party planner should be working on making a better long-term product.
Yeah. I don't know. But
walked right into that.
But going to PAX Prime and hanging out with the Bungie crew like after hours, that's always fun. And again, it's another one of those things, like hanging out with people in the industry when they're not on is a lot of fun. So I miss that on the convention circuit. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's weird having a book come out and not being able to promote it. Like, me and Jeremy are going fucking stir crazy because, like, we're used to comic book sales. So, like, the way you get comic book sales is you pound the pavement, you go to stores, you go to shows, you go to cons, and you say, this is my new thing. This is my new thing. Check out my new thing. And we can't do that. So we're both like, and the publisher is really happy with what's going on. Like, they're not happy with not being able to, like, physically go.
Obviously,
but they're happy with the press that we're getting. So it's just kind of like, okay, I hope
if the publisher's happy with the product and they understand that it's got nothing to do with you and they're good, that's the idea, man. Feed the master and let time eventually pick it up. It'll be okay. Like, people will pick this thing up. I promise you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, thank you, Vincent, for writing in. If any of you have questions for us, we are checking our emails. You can, something happened.
Yeah.
Did the camera fall down?
My camera suddenly just stopped working and it was like disconnected. And then I like pick the thing back up and awkwardly flip it over on my incredibly messy desk. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, we're connected. It was like, thanks for the shot on my stomach. So
connected. So we are small. We are small enough that we don't get a whole lot of email. So if you want us to respond to you and you want it on a show, now is the time to do it. Our email is info@fuckingdoitcast.com. It'll be in the show notes wherever I post this. So along with the link to the Nerds of Color link, you'll also have our email address. You can hit us up there. We will talk about you. We will answer your question. I won't put your full name out there unless you have a funky nickname that you want me to say. And
unless you're like, please read my full name and contact information across the interwebs to the dozens, and I mean dozens. Of fucking Do It fans. Yeah. Also, we're willing to answer really any question. So if you have life advice, want to learn something about 401k divestment, just, whatever you guys, Jamie, believe it or not, thanks to the pandemic, I actually had to learn about that. Thanks, economy. So genuinely, we'll answer anything you'd like in the most inappropriate way we can think of. So send in those questions.
Indeed.
Send in those questions.
So before we get to what we are geeking on,
yes,
I said every week I will try to find an uplifting story related to the news, related to current events, related to something that's going on, and leave it to the Supreme Court to come out swinging this week and surprise the hell out of everybody. So they came out with a bunch of decisions.
Yes.
Not all of them great.
That's okay.
They decided to not take a bunch of cases. Also, not all of that great.
Yep.
But in regards to Title VII, they extended civil rights protections to the LGBTQ plus community, meaning that in America, it is now illegal to be fired for being LGBTQ plus. So during Pride Month, the Supreme Court read the room, and they said it is, the Title VII protections not only cover race, they also cover sexual preference, gender identity. We're good to go. Now, document everything, because if you happen to work in a at-will state, you can still get fired for not being a culture fit. So document everything.
Yeah.
Document everything. Yeah. Document everything. But I felt like, even though this good news comes with a lot of caveats, I don't know. I mean, it felt good. It felt good for about like 5 minutes after reading it.
It's really nice that in the year of our Lord 2020, which, if we were actually filming a movie back in 1986, would feel like the future, where there's flying cars and laser swords and all sorts of cool stuff.
I mean, we got pocket computers. That's pretty cool.
Hey, look, no, don't get me wrong. I'm coming to you live from my NASA computer. I get it. Like, I'm not going to pick every fight I got to pick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a little bit of like, fuck yeah, finally. And then there's that deep pause and going, so it took us this long to realize that everyone should be treated like a person equally and shouldn't be fired? Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess look at us moving forward compared to some other countries. Huh?
And
I'm genuinely glad that people shouldn't be and hopefully aren't, and if they are terminated based on that they will end up being able to defend themselves in a court of law that will be upheld by the Supreme Court. I'm genuinely pleased about that. That's the way that fucking should be. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's because we've all, and I know I'm preaching to the choir being the bitchy white guy here. I'm just like, I feel like society's been ground down. Like, we're an eraser that's getting down into the metal. Like, fucking,
and we're
we'll
scraping the paper.
Like, like, look, so long as the drawing's not there, that's all I really care about. I'll draw on the fucking desk. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. And I so now that it's the law of the land, I don't know what the statutes are like, if you can go back and sue for previous terminations.
I have no idea.
But get if you feel like you've been fired for unjust cause because of your gender identity or your sexual preference, lawyer the fuck up, because these assholes need to pay. These assholes need to fucking pay. And document everything. Like, you might think you're in a woke company or not, but just keep records. Like, keep copies of questionable emails. Document like microaggressions, because one, people don't know shit, but two, you have to have documentation. Otherwise, no one can do anything. It's a he said, she said. And at least if you have contemporaneous notes or memos or emails for sure, or texts, or Slack messages, or what's the WhatsApps, I think WhatsApp is supposed to be like secure and you can't grab it, but you can fucking grab it. Fucking grab it. Document. So document.
But either way, to go on record, obviously, I wholeheartedly agree with you, and that is some good news in a very difficult time when good news is not happening most days. So a big one in a sea of really bad big ones.
Yeah. Do you want a stupid one that's kind of funny?
Yeah, please lay it on me. Jamie, can we spin the big wheel of good stories? Because I am really hoping we spin that wheel and we land on water ski squirrel, because I have not seen water ski squirrel in so long.
No, I just it's a Twitter fight that's really dumb, but it's amusing to me. Some reason a bunch of senators decided to take on Ron Perlman. Like,
oh, this is delightful. I love the idea that some of them, I'm sure, if you ask them, let's say 6 years ago, what their favorite TV show was, they'd be like, I love Sons of Anarchy. Best show on TV. Swear to God. That show is outstanding, and that Ron Perlman is a man. A man.
Yeah.
Not realizing what sort of like sleeper cell they were letting in behind the gates.
Yeah. So I think it was Jeff Jordan or Jim Jordan. I don't know.
Probably Jim Jordan, if I had to take a guess.
Jim Jordan. So Ron Perlman said he posted about defunding the police because it's we need to defund the police. And Jim Jordan was like, well, you played a cop on TV. What's that feel like? And Ron Perlman's like, yes, I played an asshole TV. What's it like actually being one? And then Jim.
Okay. Jim we're gonna step. I like that Ron immediately is like, my 10-pound cock, you say?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I can absolutely present it. That's fine. Like, it's.
So Jim wanted to challenge Ron to like a wrestling match or a fighting match or something like that. And
What?
And
Whoa, hang on. Wait, time out. Okay. Because I don't know if anyone else's brain just went, wait, and just literally did one of those like Ron Burgundy sipping a beer. That escalated quickly.
yeah,
You're saying that politician Jim Jordan and Ron Perlman, Hellboy, got into a verbal spat on Twitter.
Oh yes.
Jordan tries to call out Ron, and Ron's basic response is, well, yes, I played an asshole, but you are an asshole. Would you like to counter?
Yeah.
Which is a strong, like, that's a strong opening. Jamie, that's you and I just like showing up to play a pickup tennis game, and one of the Williams sisters just fucking like is stretching out across the other side of the court. It's like, so what do you want to like play 6 or 7 games? And be like, sure, yeah, whatever you want. And next thing you know, I look like I belong on the cast of like the Pirates of the Caribbean, because I just like from the knee down, it's just gone, just eviscerated by a tennis ball, just gone. Yeah, and I'm like Weebles wobble, and I'm falling down.
Brandon,
and then so he continues.
It continues.
Right, but hang on. He challenges him to a physical altercation. Now, to the best of your recollection, you don't know whether or not this is a like arm wrestling, thumb wrestling, the card game war, a fisticuffs fight, like some sort of challenge gauntlet has been thrown down.
NES wrestling, yeah. The challenge has been thrown down.
Okay.
Ron responds like a gentleman. He says, well, you know, wrestling is problematic at this point, but how about this? How about I donate like $50K to a charity, you know, a Black Lives charity, or a defense fund, and you keep whatever fucking money you're getting or whatever. It, like, just basically like, I'm going to do something. Why don't you just complain like a stupid little bitch you are? Ted Cruz decides this is the time to white knight for his boy, Jim Jordan.
Yep.
And basically says, well, Hellboy, if you're not going to be a man, why don't you be a man and fight my boy Jim Jordan and wrestle him? But you're too much of a chicken shit to do it. It's just like,
well, that's it. All right. Jamie, if anyone needs me, and I assume Ron Perlman doesn't, but also Ron's getting older. You know, like, I don't know if he wants to sully his boots. I'm just going to hang out over here. I'm going to have myself fitted for a singlet, and I'm going to just stretch out. If Ron needs me to tag in and whoop Ted Cruz's ass,
that's the thing.
I'm good with that.
That's the thing. Ted Cruz wasn't challenging him personally. He was
right.
He was hyping up Jim Jordan and saying that Jim Jordan could take you.
I love that Ted Cruz suddenly becomes the mouth of the South Jimmy Hart. And it's
real
just
bad.
Like,
he real bad at it. Yeah.
Wow. Like, you know, I always knew that eventually politics would end up coming full circle. And I had really hoped it was going to be one of those things where, like, we got one of those things where it was like, if the senator from Kentucky says my name one more time, I will not be responsible for what happens next. And then just a cane just comes out and just clobbers him right in the head. I really, yeah, you know, like it's, I don't know, 1896 or something.
Wait, I got fire. Hold on, let me see if I can turn on fire.
What are you doing? You're going to get us taken down by playing copyrighted things. Stop.
No, I can turn on the light to make it look like fire. There we go.
Oh, yes.
Fireplace.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fireplace? I can't tell any difference.
Oh, you can't tell? Never mind.
No, I can't tell any difference. All right. Yeah. No, anyway. Yeah. So, I don't know. What do we do? Is it a, like, can wrestling fans finally do something useful and all of us can, like, individually cut promos against Jim Jordan?
Oh my God.
Like, is that an option?
No,
is that something we can do?
But the problem is, then we are elevating them. Like, we're giving them more attention than they fucking deserve.
Yeah, but I got to be honest with you. We finally got them to play the game. Like, we got him to play. Fuck it. He's going to grandstand anyway.
That's
and
true.
one of two things is going to happen. People who are interested in him are going to think he's tough if he's not actually challenged, or he gets laughed out of the room either way. So we may as well have a little fun with it. And I think there's a possibility that a one Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could step in and literally solve this problem for us by challenging Jim to an actual wrestling match.
That would be glorious. That would be glorious.
I think that's what we need, because I am of the group of people who understands that The Rock's politics may not necessarily agree 100% with mine. Please understand, kids, not that I dislike The Rock in any way, shape, or form. I have a feeling he's actually a bit more Republican than a lot of people realize. That's not a good or bad thing. Just I may not agree with Dwayne 100%.
He's been very good at keeping that close to his chest.
You know what? That's okay. That is A-okay.
Yeah.
Being able to have a reasoned conversation and discussion with somebody about disagreeing about a topic is one thing. Calling them out over Twitter for a wrestling match requires a wrestling response. If years of watching pro wrestling have taught me anything, you don't let a guy punk you out. You don't. Not on a national platform.
Yeah. I hope that John Oliver saw that, and I hope he got in touch with somebody to cut a promo.
There has to be someone that John Oliver knows,
because he loves duking on fucking Ted. He loves duking on Ted. So
fuck it. Maybe John Oliver will just do it. We'll just find out whether or not he'll actually do it.
Yeah.
Just fuck it. Get in there.
So we got a feel-good story and a dumbass story.
No, honestly, both of them feel good stories. I'm good with all of this.
Nice.
I feel worlds better knowing that the guys who are making some decisions that are very questionable as far as I'm concerned are also assuming that solving problems by calling someone else out via wrestling match is a viable response. I think that gives us every bit of understanding about where we are as a society right now.
Yeah. And that's part of their whole image, is like this whole uber machoism that like they're so badass, they're so cool that like they think they're dunking on Ron, and Ron's just like swatting them back.
I love the idea of Ted Cruz's doughy ass walking into the gym, right? Jim Jordan feeling tough, hitting the heavy bag. Just hitting the heavy bag, just teeing off. All of a sudden, you see Ted in his beard.
I got you.
Yeah, Ted in his beard just slugging his ass up there, and just all of a sudden be like, "Hey, man, got you," and just like just gives him a fist bump, and the two of them just feel like they ended a Michael Bay movie. Like just behind him, just explosions blowing up, gym equipment just shutting down. No one wearing a face mask, by the way. But
yeah, of course not. Fucking Jesus Christ. It is too much to ask for them to get voted out, but god damn it, do they need to go.
Fuck it. Let's do it the right way, Jamie. Let's give them what they want. Let's decide who we're going to pick next in those states. Trial by combat. 2 debates and 1 arena fight.
Yeah.
And we can make it simple. Like, we don't make it deadly, right? Couple referees, we make sure we put in the octagon, but to spice things up a little bit, we, at the 2-minute marker of the first round, throw 1 wooden spoon in there just to see what happens. Yeah, just 1 wooden spoon. Right, yeah, like, does somebody get beat like they got an Italian grandma? Do they break it off and stab him in the heart? I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm here for it.
Trial by spoon.
Trial by spoon.
Trial by spoon.
Let's find out how bad your representative wants it. Can they fundraise? Sure they can. Can they pander? Absolutely. Can they make it 5 rounds in the octagon, 1-on-1 with the great one, to decide who is actually the people's champion? Yeah.
God, yeah. I bet if they didn't gerrymander their districts so bad, they could actually do stuff like that. Like,
let them gerrymander. Let them gerrymander. Seriously. You think we couldn't find a way to just move someone who could be that representative into an apartment in a district that they don't want them there, and then have them be like, I've been a resident for 6 months. I'm filing trial by combat. Let's do this.
Trial by combat. That would be great.
Let's dive headstrong into idiocracy the best way possible.
We say that now. If this happens in 10 years from now, and we actually get candidates duking it out, you were the one who predicted it.
No, that's happened way before, believe me.
Well, I mean, because who knows? Like, if you were to go back to like the 1990s or something, 1980s or something, and say that like a game show host is going to be president of the United States of America, you would say, what kind of fictional crack are you smoking? So you say weird shit like that, and before I would have said, no way, that's a funny thing to say. But now, I don't know if I can say that.
I gotta be honest with you. I gotta take caveat with one of the things you say in the worst kind of way, like game show host. I think calling The Apprentice a game show is an insult to game shows.
Oh, sure.
Because let's be honest here, we're not playing The Feud.
Yeah.
Like if former Home Improvement star and former host of the Family Feud, was it Richard Karn? I can't remember who it is. Or like, let's pick Steve Harvey. If Steve Harvey was running and won, you'd be like, I can't believe we elected a game show host. Like
that's
that.
True.
And honestly, back then, if you told me that like Chuck Woolery was here and his whole slogan was like, I'll see you in 2 and 2, you'd be like, you know what? I'm kind of here for it. I'm going to pull that thing and see where we're at.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
At least a game show host has the ability to speak clearly in a positive way and give away cash prizes. Come on.
Cash prizes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, man.
You get a pardon, and you get a pardon, and you get a pardon.
God damn. Brandon Chalmers,
sir,
upon what have you been geeking on this week?
So this week, I have been watching a lot of YouTube, and something that I had come across a few months ago, kind of one part fandom of my end, one part kind of hit local. So there is a YouTube show called 2 Minutes to Late Night, and the idea is they basically are a... Yes. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
They do a lot of metal covers, and they're very entertaining, a lot of fun. So they've been doing a lot of videos where they have had band members from different metal bands play at home and do covers of things together. So,
Shawna!
Yes, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Featuring Baltimore's own War on Women leader, Shawna Potter, has done both a fundraising set of Van Halen covers, which is outstanding.
Yeah.
But I believe it was yesterday, did a killer cover of The Warrior, and it has been in my head non-stop since it happened. Yes, and it is super good. And
Shawna's so good.
Yourself, I know she is. And you owe it to yourself also to check out the band War on Women that she is the leader of. And yeah, and a Baltimore local, and just a genuinely great person. And
a big advocate for making safer spaces for women rockers and just in general, safer spaces worldwide. She's an activist. She's a badass.
And I've seen a lot of things going around lately about the toxic nature of a lot of metal bands and metal shows and stuff like that. And I am a firm believer in making sure that we take that sort of toxic BS machismo culture the hell out of metal.
Hell yeah.
Metal's awesome. I love it. I love what it means. I love how it makes me feel, but I don't love how they end up treating people and how some groups end up basically kind of taking a hold of it in the wrong kind of way.
I have it.
I don't know where that is.
Jenny, you okay?
Yeah, we're looking for a book. I don't know where that is. It might be downstairs still, but you have to go to sleep, silly butt.
Yeah. So that's what I've been geeking out
safer
about.
For her. Safer for her.
Safer for her. Yeah.
Shawna's trying to make metal safer for her.
Yeah. And the idea of, bands making metal fun for everybody. If metal's not your thing, cool, rad. That's totally fine. But you shouldn't be pushed out of a music genre because the fans are too toxic to deal with.
For sure.
That's not okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, you should definitely check that out. You should check out a lot of their other shows when they were actually doing live shows. They feature a lot of really rad bands. One of my favorites, Baroness, and their new guitarist Gina, and just do really outstanding cover songs in a really fun way. And I absolutely love it. And it's a really nice break from everything else that's going on, where you get a bunch of musicians from all over the place and just kind of hanging out, doing the thing, jamming out. And yeah, you should totally go check that out.
Hell yes. Hell
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So that's what I've been geeking out about. What about you, Jamie? What have you been geeking out about?
I've been getting back into doing Gunpla. Like every night after I spend most of my time working on stuff, I spend an hour to just like relax before I go to bed. I've been really getting into like the Haro kits.
Oh,
they're really
adorable.
They're really cute. Oh, it's not autofocus. But like they're really cute Haro. They have a whole line of like Haro kits that are just this little dude. But they've done like crazy variations where he has like his own little mech and stuff.
That's so cool.
And it's a great platform for like, doing panel lining and all sorts of weird stuff. So like, there's I don't know if you're following the Slack channel on the Art Fight Slack, but there's a whole section on toys where we talk nothing but Gunpla and like little stupid metal model kits and shit. And
awesome.
Like, they're adorable. They're just so stupid and small. So a bunch of us are just talking about how adorable they are.
Hell yes.
And it's fun to make a thing and just like play with it and kick it around. So I've been getting into the little dudes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Cause what else you gonna do?
No, sometimes you need to do some projects like that are just kind of that thing, and take a pause on where everything else is going in the rest of the world and just kind of take a reset and be like, okay, I need like an hour to just not want to rage scream into the void. So
yeah. And we're
going to take some me time.
Yeah. And I have an old kit, like from when I was like 10 or 8 or 9 or whatever as a kid, that's been in on a shelf somewhere. So I took that apart and I've been rebuilding that to like customize it a little, and it's adorable. It's another one of those stupid little SD kits. So I cut it apart. I like resanded everything. I put in some custom pieces. I made some like modifications to it, and I'm gonna do like a really crazy paint job. And I was like,
nice,
because I saw a YouTube channel of some guy doing Gunpla, and I was like, I could make a YouTube channel. I'm like, no, I don't have any time.
I was going to say, Jamie, because what you need is another project. That's what you need.
But somebody, I'm not saying who, bookmarked a YouTube channel page or something, set one up for it. I'm not saying who.
You're not saying who?
I'm not saying who.
Never say who?
Not saying who, but yeah. Because like now I have an area to film, and not saying who. All right, Brandon.
Yeah, man.
We have a conspiracy corner.
We have a conspiracy corner.
Conspiracy corner. It is a very, 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 very niche conspiracy.
Okay.
And one that you are probably unfamiliar with unless you are currently watching the current season of Kamen Rider, which is Kamen Rider 01.
Jamie, believe it or not, and I know this is going to come as a surprise, I am not watching the current season of Kamen Rider, currently known as 01. So,
well, I will have to go on a deep dive explanation of what this this conspiracy I have is.
Thank goodness. Let me set the. Do you want me to set a timer to see how quickly you can explain this?
No, I can't do it quick. So I can't do it quick.
A warning to everyone listening.
There are 2 henshin devices this year. Normally it's only one. You get a belt and it has a gimmick, and then the secondary rider has the same belt with like a different thing, and they transform into 2 different riders. So this is the 0-1 belt. This is the main belt. And and to transform into Kamen Rider, you have these things called progrise keys. So for the main rider, this is how he transforms. So you get the key, you put it here. Wait. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And then you open up the key like this.
Yeah.
And then you put it in here like this.
What? I turns to a rider kick.
It's the best fucking line ever.
What did he say?
A jump to the sky turns to a rider kick.
Okay. So wait. Okay, hang on. So do they just wear these belts all cash-like?
No. So when it's time to fight, they grab the belt, they put it on, they bring out the key, they push the button, they open the key, and they slide it into the system.
Okay, wait, time out. So unlike, let's say, U.S. Power Rangers or whatever it is,
right,
who always seem to have their morphers with them somewhere, right?
Right.
You know, you're talking something like, essentially is like a large wallet or like brass knuckles sort of size. Like it's sizable, but could easily fit in, you know, like a cargo short pocket. Let's say.
I have those downstairs. If you give me a minute. No.
No. You're good. I asked the question though, like, are fanny packs and or like satchel bags incredibly popular in Japan?
No, so there's a term for, it's called hammer space, I think, where like when the Transformers transform, they put all the extra bits somewhere in like subspace and then they transform. It's like, I have an example. When you're watching Highlander,
yeah,
and all of a sudden Connor McLeod, he's not wearing a jacket, he's in a t-shirt. All of a sudden he pulls a sword out from behind his back. Where did that sword come from? No one cares. The first season he had a jacket, so they could play it that way. But in subsequent seasons, that jacket disappeared in certain episodes, and all of a sudden, the sword was there. It's the same thing. Sometimes
I was always under the impression, right, that he always had that tucked in, slightly loosened t-shirt and like chino, but like hammer pant chino combo. I was always under the impression that like that sword was tucked down his leg. So because you notice you never ran anywhere without the sword out. And like he was always kind of very casually kind of sauntering places. Yeah. So I just assumed that thing was just digging in the back of his calf all the time. And he was walking around with that bad boy just strapped right to the back of his thigh. Like, just no question about it. Like, he's just walking around like, Duncan, you okay? Like, oh, yeah, no, I'm good. We're good. I'm just going to pull the hammy earlier, playing a little pickup game. It's all good. Yeah. Like,
well, for Kamen Rider, they're having a conversation. When it comes time to fight, they'll reach around and the belt's there. They'll just reach behind their back and pull out the belt.
Okay, well, hang on a second. How is the henshin sequence more impressive than the idea of the second they pull behind their back, they rip a hole in time and space and grab a giant belt out? Like, how is no one more impressed by that? Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I know it's not much of a show, but I want to know what else they could you just keep reaching? Does the shit get cooler every time you dip your hand into that magician's hat?
I mean, like, yeah, as the seasons go on, the belts get bigger with like more add-ons.
Right,
yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah, like I want a practical, like, at the very least, can we pretend like they wear it all the time? Have them like do the like tucked in into the pants or whatever it is wearing the skin tight suit, what have you,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, when the time comes, had them like lift the shirt up and the belt's there, and you're like, how the fuck? At least that is pretending like they were wearing it the whole time.
One of the earlier seasons in the Heisei era, Fies, they actually carried the belt in a suitcase. And every time it was time to transform, they would open up the suitcase and put on the gear. So like you knew where the belt was all the time. And if they lose the case, they're fucked. And so they get their ass
That's what I'm
beat.
saying.
Yeah.
There's a plot point there.
Yeah.
Because then you're playing the game of, well, I can defeat the Kamen Rider by stealing the belt.
And
I don't actually have to beat the Kamen Rider. I just have to get the belt.
Yeah.
And then I can unlock the power of the Kamen Rider. And then we find out like there's some sort of Thor's thing where like you got to be worthy of the belt, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
or better yet, you get a rad variant where you get the evil guy doing the henshin sequence, and then they get the super rad one. And then you find out whatever gave them the first henshin belt suddenly goes, we had a backup belt, and it's stronger than this one. We weren't sure if you were worthy, but now we know you're worthy. And they're like, new toy, fuck yeah!
That season with the briefcases, that's exactly what happened. The bad guy did.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it was only certain bad guys that could wear the belt because you had to have like this Orphanok blood. Anyway.
I managed to figure that out like that. That is so embarrassing.
Past seasons have addressed this. The current season does not give a shit.
See,
however,
this is the problem.
However, there's one thing. So like that's our main writer. There's a secondary writer, Fua, who turns into a wolf. He has a gun.
Whoa, time out. Whoa, time out. Because you blew right through that thing like
you knew what I was talking about.
With Ron Perlman.
Right.
Yeah, so the secondary rider, I'm familiar with this concept, right? Secondary rider turns into a wolf, has a gun.
Has a gun.
No, wait. Time out. Wait. Okay. Are we talking about like the horse from the lesser-known 80s cartoon Brave Star, where like the wolf also has the ability to hold the gun? Or is it one of those things where like he's got a gun or he's a wolf? You never know what he's going to do. Is he going to shoot you? Is he going to maul you? Can he track you down? Can he shoot you from afar? Like, do you get at least that like, I can't transform and kill this person so far away when there's a female dog around because my wolf powers?
No, it's a wolf motif, so he's still a person. He's just got a wolf helmet, and he's got armor, and he's got claws and stuff, and so he doesn't turn into a wolf.
Wait, hang on. What's the theme of the regular Kamen Rider then?
The regular one.
I thought that they all had like a certain, or is it still?
His theme is grasshopper. Like the lead Kamen Rider is a grasshopper.
Okay.
God, I forgot his Kamen Rider designation, but
why is the secondary rider a wolf? Did they just not has it somehow taken this long that the secondary rider is finally to wolf, or have we? I feel like wolf is something we would have hit in like the 80s.
We haven't had a wolf. We've had wolf enemies, but we haven't had a wolf rider yet.
Well, shit, never mind. I retract my statement. Good on the Kamen Rider crew for not popping that wolf cherry too quickly.
There's actually a third writer who is a female writer, one of the first ones that we've had early on in the series, and she's a cheetah. Her designation is Kamen Rider Valkyrie. She also has the gun. So,
okay.
So for the wolf guy to transform, he has to insert the key into the gun. Shoots the gun, a bullet comes out, he punches the bullet shatters and turns into the armor and forms around him, and then he's the wolf guy. It's dope as fuck.
Wait, hang on. He takes the gun out, right?
He takes the gun.
Takes the fucking key.
Takes the key.
By the way, is he carrying the gun at all times, or both we're still ripping the gun?
It's not in Hammer Space. They have the guns on them at all times because they're sort of like a security force. So they come equipped with the guns.
So this dude is rolling around like a Secret Service officer with like an AR-15 always at the ready. Yeah. So this dude's just wandering around,
it's like a
just
pistol.
looking to howl at shit.
It's a pistol. It's a pistol.
Pistol's still okay.
Yeah.
So sees trouble, goes, "Ha-ha, I'm a police officer in the United States," and then jams the key in and then fires, and then suddenly the bullet spins around and then he punches it, and then all of a sudden he's a wolf.
Yeah.
But a wolf with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why this show is amazing.
All right, sure, fuck it, I'm in. All right, wait. So wait. Does the Valkyrie? Does the cheetah? By the way, secondary. What is the third rider just third rider? Is it third rider?
We've had multiple riders, but we haven't had like top 3 before. So like primary,
so
secondary, tertiary. Yeah, I get tertiary, I guess.
Tertiary. Okay, tertiary. Feels like a lot. Feels a lot like a lot. Feels like a lot.
She has a B form. She has a cheetah form. So to transform, you need to open the key and insert it into the henshin device. To open the key, you must be an authorized user. And here's where my conspiracy theory comes in.
Yeah.
The guy who turns into the wolf is not authorized to use the key. The woman who turns into the cheetah is the main technician. So she developed this technology. She can authorize him if she wanted to. She doesn't. So when he transforms, he breaks open the key. Like there's like a scene of him just like,
right. Okay.
And then sheer force of will opens the key, slams it into the henshin device, transforms.
Yeah. All of this tracks. Right. The key was resisting arrest. So he broke it open and then jammed it in the gun. Go on.
So here's my conspiracy theory. I think that she did end up authorizing him because they never mention again throughout the series. And yet he still takes all this pressure to open up. Like he still spends like a good 30 seconds before he transforms trying to open his keys.
Every time?
Every time. I don't think he knows how to work hinges.
No, I think I got this. So I used to have a 1988 Honda Prelude, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out. So that thing was a cool looking car, but was kind of trash. And the trunk, right? So the trunk, the latch on it broke once, right? And I managed to like get the thing open. I had to disconnect the back seat. I had to like disengage the lock. It was a whole thing, right? Because there's no like split folding bench in an 80s vehicle. So once I managed to get that lock open, that son of a bitch was a pain in the ass every time. No amount of keys, no amount of nothing. Like basically what ended up happening was like you had to do like a pinball tilt bump like Fonzie maneuver. Where like you had to turn the key and then like press your hip up against the side of the car and then kind of drop a savage elbow on the thing and then it would burst open and then you could throw your crap inside and then you'd shut it and then shut it again and then shut it again and then finally like you'd be like, please just fucking work. And then you'd negotiate with a piece of metal and then gently press it and then all of a sudden you go, ha! And then like you close the thing down and finally it would snap. I have a feeling just once he broke it, it never quite worked right. Like if you get in like a fender bender and your door's kind of crinkling in a little bit and it just clips every time, you're like, God damn it, I gotta get that fixed. Because every time you shut the door, you hear that noise of like metal on metal and you're like, right, yeah. I think that's the problem, Jamie, is once you're a shithead and you break something, you can't just magically put it back and it works. And he doesn't want to tell her that he broke it. So he's just gonna keep it. Hey, how's that thing working? Works great. 100%. Best looking thing I own. Best thing. Take great care of it. Washed it twice this weekend. Twice. Just would enjoy looking at it.
So I like where you're going, except he receives other keys throughout the series that our lead hero is just like, oh, boom. And he still has to struggle with them, which is why I think he doesn't know how to work hinges. He also, all the doors in this show are automatic doors. So you never have to open anything with a thing. He never opens a door. I don't see him ever opening a door to get in a car because she's the one who drives all the time. Like he's in the back of a van. Everyone else pushes the van. Like I think he might be a moron. I think
I would argue that's possibly true, but I would also argue that maybe, just maybe, this guy is an overzealous officer who's seen a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, because JCVD doesn't know how to open up a bathroom stall either. Like, he just fucking snap kicks that fucking
That's
thing
true.
off the
That's
hinges.
true. That's true.
Yeah, like,
He's
so I'm
overzealous.
convinced that, yeah, right, yeah, like, imagine bringing Jean-Claude Van Damme in to speak to, like, a middle school for some particular reason. You want to have a Belgian talk about overcoming adversity. And he suddenly decides he has to pee, and your, like, 7th grade kid is in the bathroom stall, and all of a sudden he walks in, sees that the one lone urinal is taken care of, and then he just looks, and instead of checking under the ruse of, like, germs, he just fucking kicks that shit off the wall, and then just stands there, just triumphant, just peeing, just because he can. Door's just fucking hanging by a thread, and then he, like, zips, turns, stares at the door, snap kicks the rest of the thing off, and then, like, walks over, washes his hands, looks at the kid's still standing there, reinforces the importance of washing his hands. By the way, flushes using another kick, so water is just spraying everywhere. Yeah, like, just absolutely every toilet's overflowing because he doesn't know how to use doors, but he does know how to kick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm convinced that maybe this guy is the definition of, like, when the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, where he's just like, I gotta do the thing.
Yeah.
Now, does that make him an idiot? Sure, yeah. I suppose it does. But I in this moment, I prefer to look at him as a simple caveman. He's the Tim Allen of the yeah. Just stares at the key. Yeah, right. Yeah, and just
it
and
tracks
then
with
gets
his
really
personality too. Like,
right. Yeah, you know what's gonna be? You're gonna get, like, near the second to last episode, and someone's gonna surprise him with something, or show him something he doesn't really understand. You're just gonna hear him go, and you're gonna be like, I fucking knew it. And then you're gonna scroll through, and you're gonna see all those names in the credits.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna see character design Tim Allen, and you're gonna be like, motherfucker, I knew it.
Yeah. And that's when I'm gonna be jealous because he got the gig before I got the gig. I'm just like, God damn it, Tim Allen.
Look, man, if I know anything about society, a rich white guy is going to get that opportunity before you do. Like, let's be clear.
It's true,
here.
man.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm saying.
True.
It's important to hate Tim Allen early and often.
Yeah.
Early and often. Buzz Lightyear is the only exception to the rule, because those Santa Claus movies, he killed a man and then took his job.
He did. He fucking did.
Yeah.
He fucking did.
Killed a man and then took his job.
Well, Brandon, I believe you have solved the conspiracy theory for me. This is definitely
I think I'm more
tracks.
feeding into it, but yeah, I like the idea of
definitely tracks.
Yeah, the conspiracy is this guy is an idiot.
Yeah.
Because of Tim Allen.
Yes. Yeah. He goes. It's either 0 or 11. There's no in between, and every time he goes through, like, he's always forcing them.
Yeah.
When all you gotta do is just. All right.
And I bet if you isolate the audio of him doing that in the background, he's shouting, like, he's acting like he's shouting "Stop resisting," but he's just kind of mouthing "Stop resisting," so this way the body cam picks it up. Like, that's probably what's going on.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Maybe he's lying about the milkshake giving him, like, poison or whatever.
What?
You didn't hear about this?
Never mind. Yeah. No, I don't want to do it. I don't have the patience for it. I just blame Tim Allen for a weird Kamen Rider thing. My logic and reason has gone completely off the rails.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Brandon Chalmers, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at that guy Chalmers, and nowhere else, because I don't want to be anywhere else on the internet. Though honestly, for the love of God, can someone give me an option to upload just photos like Instagram that isn't owned by Facebook? Please. Anyone? Is there something out there? Anything?
Tumblr, Flickr is still a thing.
Is Flickr still a thing?
Flickr is still a thing.
All right, maybe I'm just gonna set up a hot Flickr account. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I gotta try and step away from that
Flickr,
Facebook monarchy.
Tumblr.
I
Could do
don't
a
know if I
photo
want anything to
Tumblr.
do with Tumblr. I feel like Tumblr's gonna end up being real bad for me.
Tumblr, Flickr, Tumblr. What else does photos?
So I don't know. This is the problem. It sounds like right now you can catch me on Flickr at that guy Chalmers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of photo sharing, Flickr, but there's like a cap. I think it's like 1,000 image. I don't know. I looked into it. It was not worth
Always
looking
a
into.
caveat.
There was
Always
not
a
worth it.
caveat.
Yeah.
Always a caveat. Can't they just steal my information like a reputable company?
See, Tumblr might be good because you don't actually have to interact with anybody. You just upload your photos, and it's on them whether or not they want to reblog it or whatever, or like it or whatever. But there's like there's like, I don't think there's a comment feature on it anymore unless you want it.
I mean, that sounds delightful, but yeah.
Blogger?
Anyway, so for the time being, you can catch me on Instagram.
Blogger might be a thing.
Is Blogger still a thing? So you can catch me on LiveJournal at that guy Chalmers.
LiveJournal is owned by the Russians now. Stay away from LiveJournal.
Why does it ruin everything? Is Dead Journal still a thing?
I've never heard of Dead. I've never heard of Dead Journal.
You've never heard of Dead Journal? Oh my God, Jamie. That's where all of us kids who graduated in the early 2000s would post all over Lincoln Park. So you had a live journal for everything else. Like, your regular, like, day-to-day, like, oh, that class was really hard. Or you'd, like, vague post.
Dead Journal.
Right, yeah, like, you would like vague post about being interested in somebody, and then the Dead Journal was the one where you had like an alias, and only like 4 of your closest friends really knew it was you, but like everyone else would kind of pay attention to it. And that's the one where you'd be like Dad sucks, and I'm gonna post all these Papa Roach lyrics, and then really, really into Stephanie, but like I'm not gonna talk about it with her because like I don't know how to deal with that stuff, so I'm just gonna post all these lyrics. And
wake me up in there.
Right, yeah, 100%. Yeah, just a series of just darkened bedroom, blackout curtain, evanescence blasting, blogging is really all that. Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I don't know. I
just Invader Zim on the TV in the background, just really just digging into that like early 2000s, just starting to get into Fast and Furious for all the wrong reasons. Trying to defend new metal in the wrong kind of way life.
God, I bet you could just set up a Pornhub and just post photos there. Because there's no limit. There's no limit there.
I like the idea of just turning Pornhub into just a place where I just post random life videos, because I am infinitely curious about people who put ratings and comments on Pornhub. Like the idea of somebody seeing you perform an act voluntarily, putting it out into the world and be like, this is what I got, I'm fucking proud of, and somebody being like, oh, this is terrible, 14%. And be like, dude. Like,
yeah.
Like the last thing I want to do, seriously, like that's the day when you see me get up from a table and walk away, is when we're going to be at dinner with somebody undoubtedly at a convention, and we're going to meet a friend of a friend of a friend, and we're going to be sitting down at dinner, and they're going to talk about how one of their favorite things to do is put reviews on Pornhub, and I'm going to very quietly get up, throw a $20 bill on the table, and just leave. And you're going to be like, that's the thing that Brandon doesn't want to deal with. That's it, right there. Like, I don't want to have a conversation with that guy.
That's the one that broke him.
That's it. Like, I don't want to enjoy a meal, because I can't enjoy a meal with someone who doesn't appreciate hard work.
Yeah.
And I don't care how you slice it, no matter how simple it gets. Porn has to be hard work. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be hard work.
Like,
and if you don't appreciate hard
angles
work,
and shit. Yeah.
Multiple camera angles and what have you, and the confidence alone to just bother to do it in the first place. Like, just, I I want no part of somebody who doesn't appreciate you. Don't like for the love of the game, man. Like for the love of the game. For the love of the, because you know what's gonna happen. That dude's gonna look just like me. Because you know that dude has to look just like me. Because we've got no other real problem to complain about, so we've got to start critiquing other people's performances on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so in the third act, I was really into it, but then she just seemed kind of mentally checked out, and that just didn't, like, what? No. That's, no.
God, now I'm going to just read the comments and be like, what the fuck? That'll be a new segment. I will grab some comments and you can tell me.
will read the comments.
You'll tell me if it's YouTube comments or Pornhub comments. Like we'll play a game.
Perfect. We'll play the game Tuber Hub, and you tell me, Tuber Hub, and you read the comments, and I tell you whether it's a review of a YouTube video or a Pornhub video. Like, and you got to pick something that feels vaguely similar, like a toboggan review or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my
that
God.
seemed really smooth, but a little too fast for you to control. Be like, you know what? I don't know.
That's a great game. We might do that next week. Who knows?
Anyway, Jamie, where can they find you? God, can I? I can tangent like a son of a bitch. I swear to God.
Instagram, Jamie Noguchi. I haven't been posting much lately, mostly because I'm in production mode right now for the comic. I'm also unsure of what I'm allowed to post in terms of like preview art. Everyone on my Patreon can see everything that I'm doing, but I never promote that. And then Twitter, Angry Zen Master on Twitter. If you like angry activism, you can follow me there. And that's it. Oh, and wherever you find this thing.
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook
Flickr.
And
Flickr.
Podbean and Flickr.
And Podbeam and Flickr. That's where you can find us.
Oh, Imager. I guess you could post images to Imager. I don't think there's a limit to Imager.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, but kids, we say it. We said it the last time. We're going to say it every time. Be excellent to each other. Please remember, especially during the current situation, please don't start slacking about it. Black Lives Matter. Black trans lives matter. Please keep showing your love and support.
Yep. Look out for each other. That's all we got.
Yep. Be excellent to each other. Bye, kids.